Hi everyone, my name is Tyler Shade. I'm the Executive Director of Family Promise of Northern Newcastle County. I wanted to take this time to talk to you today a little bit about Family Promise and the social capital that we provide for families experiencing homelessness in Delaware. So Family Promise, we provide shelter and resources for families experiencing homelessness with children. The families we serve, they really tend to just be facing a variety of challenges, barriers, and obstacles that are impeding their ability to secure permanent housing or to remain in permanent housing. So what we do is to really provide that little bit of assistance, that little bit of support, love, and compassion to really help families reset, refocus, and get back on track to living that independent and sustainable life that they were living prior. The families we serve, they're really like you. They're like me. They're just normal individuals that are working 9-to-5 jobs at banks, pharmaceutical companies, wherever it might be. They're generally just living their lives like all of us. They're our friends, our neighbors, our families. They might live down the street. It could be someone's cousin. It could be somebody's mother. Family homelessness is really a situation that can affect anybody. We're in a situation in America where around 50% of our population tends to live paycheck to paycheck. And in a situation like this, the stark reality of homelessness is really only a few doors down for most of our families that we're serving. And what I mean by that is just generally that when you're living paycheck to paycheck, all it can take is a lost job, a car accident. You might have to pay to fix your car so you can continue going to work. But in that situation, you might now, to fix your car, you might have spent $400 that now that you don't have to put towards your rent. So we really serve families that just happen to be down on their luck. For me, the issue was that when I was younger, what our challenge was a family breakup. My parents got divorced. My father was the primary breadwinner. So with him not in the picture anymore, my mother's salary alone just was not enough to fulfill or to cover our lifestyle. The bank ended up foreclosing on my childhood home, and quite frankly, looking back, it was an extremely terrifying situation now that I'm older and I realized the situation we were in. Luckily, my family had my grandmother. My grandmother reached out immediately. She lived in the area, and then she had enough space in her home to allow us to live there with her until my mom was able to get back on her feet. We had access to social capital in my grandmother. We had family that we could rely on. And instead of having to worry about going to a shelter, having to split up to get services, we knew we were going to a safe, warm place with my grandmother. We didn't have to worry that much. We still had to worry, my mom, get back on her feet, boost her income to get into housing, but overall we were safe. The difference is, for a lot of the families we serve, is the only difference is they often don't have access to social capital. They're similar to my mother. They might be struggling to pay their bills, but in the tough times, they don't have a mom in the area, or they don't have friends and family that are able to take them in. They might have friends and family that are willing, but they might not be able just because they're a family. They have 2 kids, let's say, and a mom and a wife. The family member that might be willing to take them in simply doesn't have the space to house them in their home. So we have this situation where you have people that are down on their luck, and traditionally the people they would turn to either aren't in the area or just don't have the ability to provide that social capital for them when they're down on their luck. And that's where Family Promise comes in. We provide the social capital for families. We are, with our greater community, we're the moms, we're the friends, we're the brothers, sisters, grandparents. We have volunteers of all ages, all sexes, all sizes who fulfill that role of social capital for our families. And because we look at it from a family perspective, our services are imbued with more compassion, more love than you would find anywhere else. Because we're here to be the family for families when they don't have their own family to turn to, or they don't have their friends to turn to. When families don't have a place to go, we're that social capital. We are that agency that families turn to when they don't have anywhere else to go to.